Good afternoon, fellow tankers. It's Commander Denalii, and we're back with another nuts and bolts review of the AMX 1390. As you can see, this tank is very small. It's also very fast, and it actually has a decent gun for being a Tier 8 light tank. This tank is very maneuverable, and both the turret and the hull can traverse really quick, and you can get on targets just in a pinch, like really quick. So as we're looking at the tank, you can already tell that it has pretty much no armor on it. I mean, just about anything can penetrate this. You can get a lucky bounce every now and again, but that's all it is. It's extremely lucky. So as this tank is moving across the battlefield, it is a relatively hard tank to hit if it's, using its maneuverability. So here we go, we're gonna get into the stats here in just a second. And as you can see, it has slim to none armor. It's got 1100 hit points. It can go just north of 60 kph, and it's got a very good horsepower, so the acceleration is good. It's got above average camouflage. It's got a base view range of 400 meters. When you add binos to that, it goes up to 500 meters. And like I said, turret and chassis rotation are wonderful. The rate of fire is 6.17 on this, but it is an autoloader. That's 6.17 rounds a minute. So pretty much you have about a 40-second reload, give or take, depending on the stuff you put on your tank for a reload. But that is 6 rounds with a second and a half between each round to fire. So I'm running the gun laying drive for the decreased aiming time. I'm running the binos, and I'm running the camouflage. And I do that just so that I can be a really good spotter for my team, and if I'm needed in a pinch, I can rush up the battlefield and I can put some shots into some enemies in the side. So as you see here, the penetration is 170 on the standard round, and it's 246 on the premium rounds. And that's average penetration. The average damage is 240 for both of those rounds. The aiming time is 3 seconds, and the accuracy or the gun dispersion is 0.37. So there you have it. That's just the general stats on that. So like I said, the equipment I run, I do it for just for view range purposes and for camo value. If I can get into a lucrative spot and I can take flanking shots on my enemy and shoot them in the side, then I'm assisting my team with both assisted damage by spotting them and actual damage by helping kill the enemies. And this gun, it can penetrate tier 10s with flanking shots. I can penetrate an E100 if I can hit him in the back, or if I can hit him right in the tread. Unfortunately, I cannot penetrate him from the front. So with this nuts and bolts review, we're only going to do one replay because it's a long one. It is the Arctic region, and this one was down to just less than 2 minutes of gameplay left. So on this, I'm with a buddy of mine, and he's in the T-54E1, which is the American Tier 9 auto-loading medium. And we decide that we're going to go up the 1-2 line, and we're going to try to hold that flank, and maybe even push up if we have enough help. So, we're watching where our team is going, so that way we know if we're pushing or holding. Sometimes you just have to defend a position for just about the entire fight. And you guys will see that in my next nuts and bolts video. Sometimes you gotta defend a position really hard. And correction, it's actually not my next nuts and bolts video. It's my Lorraine 40-ton video with clan members. So here we are. We decided to get up here in this position. Got a few tanks coming this way, but we're just literally gonna sit up here. We're gonna spot. We're gonna throw our camo up, and we're gonna try to assist our team. And there's our first customer, and there's our first damaging shot of the game. Unfortunately, it really didn't do a whole lot to his hit point pool, but we're getting some spotted target hit, so that's good. And here we go. Got the camo and binos out again, and we're just we're going to try to get to where we can see this whole little valley right here. I'm still waiting on my friend to get here, and there's another customer. Unfortunately, I can't penetrate him. He's got some very good armor, especially when it's pointed right at you. And here's another one, and that's a heavy as well. I could penetrate the side of his turret maybe if I was really lucky, but I'm not gonna make that gamble. And there we go, we got its hatch on the top there. I can penetrate that, but I'd rather have a bigger weak spot to shoot at. And there's one, and unfortunately the round goes directly over, so we're gonna try again. And he bounces it off the side of his turret. So, alright, well the KV's gonna pull back down and bounce the first round. Maybe we can get the second one there. It's a really small target. And there we go. And I decided to back up there just to be on the safe side, not get detected. I got one more round, so I'm just going to go ahead and try. Oh, didn't get the RNG there. I was trying to tell my buddy I was reloading, but unfortunately I was telling another guy to halt his movement. So yeah, we're just going to stay here. We're going to get some spotted target damage here, some assisted damage. And then there's this medium pushing up, and he's getting very aggressive. I'm on the reload, so I can't do anything. So, yeah, unfortunately, he's going to detect everybody here. So I'm going to back up, and I'm going to reposition myself. I told my buddy to hold that flank. I'm going to see if I can't find a way to push around. And unfortunately, that guy popped up on the map right away. So I was like, well, maybe I won't be able to. But I told him I got to help these guys out because they're getting flanked right up the middle. He said he would hold as long as he could. So that, you know, sometimes you got to hold, sometimes you got to push, and you got to help. So here we are, we're just going to cruise up the middle here. We're fully reloaded, and that tree stops us for some reason. It's the thing about a super light tank, it can be stopped by just about anything. So he did take one hit there as we were getting down here. And another hit. And he's on low health, so we're just going to snapshot him, finish him off. And instead of stopping and turning around, it's just quicker sometimes if you just you know, cruise the path. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to get back to where my buddy is. I got 5 rounds in the autoloader still. I only had to expend 1 to take out that flanking threat. So here we are, we're just cruising up the back alley again. And I see that guy's almost dead. My buddy's still on full health until right there. And you know, I decided, well, I can't go around and flank. There's not going to be enough time. So I told him he should start his reload unless he's already full, and we should both rush around together. And I almost went in the lake there by accident, and luckily I caught it and saved it. So anyway, he tells me he's still reloading. He's got, you know, a total of a 20-second reload on that tank. So I'm just gonna wait patiently. I'm gonna back up. That way, when we go around the corner, we're not going around all slow, getting tracked, immobilized, and targeted by, you know, both those tanks over there and anything else that's still hidden back there. So I'm gonna, you know, get a running start. And there he says he's reloading still. And I'm gonna push around because he said he was ready. And I tried to get a shot off and it bounced. And he's turning his armor at me. There's nothing I can do. I took a big hit from that heavy, and he said not to worry about that medium, to push forward, so I'm going to go ahead and push. He said he's going to handle that medium. Unfortunately, that medium was bouncing all his rounds, turned his armor back at him, and he's like, you know, come back and help. I'm getting messed up. So I tried to get a shot there. Unfortunately, didn't have the gun elevations, so here I am turning around, trying to get an angle, making sure I don't run into stuff, and my buddy ends up getting shot and killed. And there's an angle, and at least we got revenge directly after. But we're down to half a clip. I lost my friend over here, so now I know I'm not going to be able to hold this flank with just me and one other tank. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to spot some people, and it looks like the tide of battle is turning in the enemy's favor. So I just spotted another enemy that hadn't been detected before, and then there's another one way back there. And we're just we're going to try to deter these guys from attacking all at once. Because if they do that, we're kind of screwed, because we are at a loss on the numbers. So I'm hoping they try to back down and, you know, get a flanking shot or two, but none of them are going to do that. And then we spotted another tank. and we're sixth sense, so we're probably detected. So I just decided to back up because that tank is very dangerous to me. He could probably hit me twice and kill me. He might actually get lucky and kill me with one shot. He could ammo rack me. So I'm gonna go ahead and reload. I got this other guy coming up to help me a little bit. Unfortunately, we should have both, just fell back because there's 3 tanks in this corner plus that tank destroyer down there, and there's only 2 of us over here, and I'm on the reload, so I'm, the only help I can assist with is spotting targets, and he's on very low health. And tank destroyer didn't pop back up, but I got detected there, and I almost ate that round, but thankfully it hit the dirt. So yeah, he's very low health, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fall back, and I'm going to try to tell him I'm falling back, and that he should do the same. Unfortunately, he's not going to make it. I don't know if he was turning around right here to try to, fall back with me, or if he just decided to stay there and take it, but he ended up getting killed. So I decided to get around the corner as fast as possible, and that means taking the low road. This tank bounces a lot. So here we are, falling back. We're still down on tanks, and I'm just deciding where I could be used best at. Those guys are getting messed up over in the H7 and H8 area because they've got just about every angle covered. They've got a guy behind the rock and a guy using the hill over there that I like to use, and it just seems to be a very lucrative spot if you have the gun depression for it. You put a T62 Alpha there, and they can do well, but most likely they're not going to do as well as an STA2 or an AMX, stuff like that, a Lorraine. So here we are, we see that tank destroyer again, and this guy was asking for help, so we're going to pull forward, we're going to detect him, and we caught him just as he fired, and he takes a big hit. So we're going to take our time, and we're going to put 2 rounds into him before he turns and shoots at us. And there we go, we got another kill. So we're on kill number 3 now. And we're going to sit up here and try to spot for our team. It looks like we're catching up on the numbers now. So, that's good on my team's behalf for doing that. And there's another enemy over there. And I decide, well, I should stay up here just in case he backs up. I can maybe get a flanking shot on him, but he's not going to back up that far. And that guy tried to blind shoot me, but it's a good thing I was back far enough, because that round would have been a good hit. And that would have been a big, devastating round for me to take. So I decided to go down the mountain here, and, well, you guys know my luck with mountains. I take damage, and my ammo rack, and my gunner, I believe. It's either my gunner or my loader. I believe it was my gunner. And I decided to fix both my gunner and my ammo rack because I don't want to have poor shot displacement and a really long reload. And that's why we put med kits and repair tools on our vehicles. So we're going to push forward here, and we're going to help our team out with these guys that are left over here. It's a STI and a medium. And we're going to try to... Nope, it's a light. It's T49, it looks like. So we're going to push around, put a couple rounds into him since he's distracted. And he's trying to turn towards us, and, our reload's just too quick for him. So there we go. He did end up doing some decent damage to our guys. But now that this flank is secure, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reload. And I'm going to go over here and help my team. There's only 3 enemies left. We know where all of them are because they were just highlighted on the map. One of them was in the middle. There he is. And 2 of them were on the far left side, on the other side of the mountain. So hopefully I can get this reload in time, because if that medium gets up there and starts flanking, he can be very devastating because he's got some very good frontal armor. So hopefully he just keeps going. I can reload, and I can put a bunch of tank rounds into his backside. And we're just waiting on the reload. Oh, he stopped, so that's good. That's good. Don't move too far. There we go, tracking shot and damage. Alright, another shot. Keep going, he must have good repairs. Put another one in him. There we go, he's tracked again. Take your time. There we go, that's a good kill. Just put 5 good rounds into him. And we're on kill number 5. So now we're going to reload. We know where the other 2 tanks are. We know which direction they're facing. and that gives me plenty of time to reload, get around behind these guys, and flank them. Now, had I not fixed my gunner and my loader, I would have still been on the reload when that Freedom tried to flank. And even if he would have stayed down there a little bit longer, because I wasn't shooting him in the back, my shots would have been, you know, all over the place, because my gunner was out of commission, and he probably would have survived and just turned around and put a round or two in me and killed me. But here we are, we're on the flanking side, reload just completed, and I'm hoping that one of these guys shows something that I can hit. Unfortunately, they won't, so I'm going to pull forward. They're steadily assaulting us, and they're actually doing a very good job. But there's one right there. I can put one into him. There's one. Fire number 2. And we bounce off the backside of his turret just as he goes down the hill. So now we see the KV, and he's a one-shot kill. So we're just going to snapshot, and our round eats dirt, but that's okay. We're going to snapshot again, and he's toast. And I decided I didn't want to go all the way around there just in case he was pointing my way, and it seems like he was pointed directly where I would have pulled out at. So I'm going to back up, and I'm going to wait for my buddy here to go up and take a shot. There we go, back up, and put a round in this engine deck, and there we go. We secured 7 kills. But anyway, gentlemen, this is just how I play the tank. I'm not telling you you have to play it this way. This is just how I enjoy to play this tank. I don't like to just, you know, only spot or only do something, you know, specific for a tank. I like it to be an all-around. But anyway, we got a Devastator, we got a Top Gun, and we only got a Mastery Badge 1 on that for some reason. We ended up with 2,700 experience with premium account on that match, doing 3,000 damage and almost 1,000 assisted. And then we'll look at the team leaderboards here in just a moment. There we go, and I'm on top with all that, so there we go. Anyway, you guys go out, you kill some shit, and I hope to see you on the battlefield.